Today we are at Feng Sushi Billingsgate to have a lesson in sushi making. Today's recipe will be how to make the perfect sushi rice. Making sushi rice is not complicated, but you do need to follow the instructions step by step. For sushi, you use a round grain sushi rice. It's polished, and this particular rice is grown in Italy, which we prefer because we think that's local to us, as close as you really can get to the UK. First, you need to wash it 10 times, rest it, cook it, rest it again, and then mix it. You have about 1 kilo of raw sushi rice in here, as you can see, and you add water. You can also do this under the tap, and then you give it a gentle stir. What you'll see is that the water starts off being milky white. This process gets rid of the starch and the dust from the milling. And this is very important. If you don't do this, you'll have a very clayey sushi rice full of starch. So you can see here already with the first wash, the water is totally milky white. What I'm aiming for is having clear running water. So therefore I probably need to repeat this process between 8 to 12 times. And with the final wash, I leave the rice to rest for half an hour. The rice has now rested for half an hour, and you can see it looks like little pearls. It's now ready to cook. The most traditional and best way to measure out the water is by putting your hand flat into the bowl, just like this, and then add water until it covers the fingers of your hands. Now it's ready to be put onto the rice cooker. This can also be done in a white saucepan on a stove if you don't have one of these rice cookers. Bring the rice to boil and let's simmer for 17 minutes on a low heat and then rest for 17 minutes. The rice is now ready. It's cooked and it's rested for 17 minutes. And I have one of these wooden barrels to mix the rice in. If you don't have one of these to hand, you can also use a normal big baking tray. Just taking a bit of the rice into here and fluffing it up to give it a little bit of air. When the rice comes out, it's about 90 degrees or 90 to 100 degrees. And it's very important not to mix in the vinegar straight away. Let it rest for 5 to 10 minutes. The sushi rice is now rested for 5 minutes and is ready to be mixed with vinegar. You need to fan the rice meanwhile you do this process, and traditionally you'll have another chef doing this with a fan. I use a little office fan, that's my little trick. So I turn the fan on first to make sure I blow air onto the rice. For a portion like this, which were originally 700 grams of raw sushi rice, I will use 1.2 of ready blended sushi vinegar, which I sprinkle gently across the rice. And then with diagonal movements, I cut through the rice. This is very important because what you're trying to achieve is mixing vinegar around each grain of rice to make it nice and sticky. Make sure you turn the bowl a couple of times whilst you do this. You carry on for about 5 minutes, and then your sushi rice is ready to use.